And Santander will put it in the outfield, way into the outfield, and this game is over.
On August 25th, Anthony Santander and the Orioles walked off the White Sox to win the series and continue their unexpected run of success. So how does this relate to Adley Rutschman? Well, he hit a single to start the inning, although it didn't really matter since he wasn't the one who scored. Okay, I'll tell you a stat that does matter. In the entire history of MLB, among players who've had last names beginning with Rut, Rutschman has the third most home runs in history. Wait, what? This stat doesn't matter either? I mean, the Orioles broadcast team showed this stat on the same day as the walk-off. Okay, I'll tell you some stats that do matter. After this game on August 25th, Rutschman had a very good stat line. Above average hitting numbers for a rookie catcher is very impressive. However, if we dig a bit deeper and look at his extra base hit and walk numbers, only 11 total players in MLB history have had at least 34 extra base hits and 43 walks in their first 76 games. However, not only is Rutschman the only catcher on this list, he's one of only 2 players on this list who played a premium position in their rookie season. Who was the other player? Barry Bonds. Now yes, I know I've mentioned Rutschman's name along with Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds in about a minute's time, but this doesn't change the fact that Rutschman is making history as a rookie catcher, and by this time next year, there's a real chance we can definitively say that Adley Rutschman is the best catcher in baseball. And to be honest, considering how hyped he's been for so many years, it wouldn't be too surprising. When he was drafted as the #1 overall selection back in 2019, Rutschman was considered the consensus #1 pick in virtually every mock draft. He was regarded as a switch-hitting power hitter with impressive catching skills and the traits of a true leader. He sounded like the prototypical dream #1 pick. One time in college, despite the bases being loaded with no outs, Rutschman was intentionally walked. He was given the Barry Bonds treatment. Funny enough, like Bonds, Rutschman's team still ended up losing the game. But yeah, there's a reason why some veteran scouts felt Rutschman was a better overall prospect than Buster Posey and Joe Mauer, 2 of the best catchers in modern baseball history. One executive said the only catcher who compares to Rutschman is Buster Posey. Not only did Rutschman have more power than Posey as a prospect, he was regarded as the better catcher too. In regards to Mauer, who was the last catcher to be drafted #1 overall before Rutschman, the executive said Mauer is the best high school catcher he'd ever seen. So for Rutschman to be praised in the same manner as Mauer was very telling of his overall talent level. After being drafted, Rutschman played 37 games across 3 different minor league levels and produced mixed results. Still, heading into the 2020 season, Rutschman was a consensus top 5 prospect, and despite not playing a minor league season in 2020 because of the pandemic, Rutschman became a #1 prospect and MLB-ready player in less than 2 years. Rutschman is a complete franchise-altering prospect and one of the most exciting young players in the entire sport. He's a switch hitter with a hit and power combination that would probably make him an all-star anywhere on the diamond, while also being a plus defender in the most demanding position in baseball and an intense, vocal, charismatic leader. While a spring training injury forced Rutschman to push his MLB debut back to mid-May, Orioles fans were very excited to see the best prospect in baseball.
Rutschman into right field, down the line, a fair ball. Adley will turn first, head for second. He's going to turn second, go for third. An extra base hit, his first hit in the major leagues.
Fun fact, 2 former Orioles top prospects also hit triples as their first big league hits. Those players were Manny Machado and Matt Wieters. Machado was never a #1 prospect, but that didn't stop him from becoming a superstar. As for Matt Wieters, he didn't become a superstar player, but he was a multi-time All-Star. Also, he was named Baseball America's #1 prospect back in 2009. In fact, he's the only catcher since Joe Mauer to be listed as the #1 prospect by Baseball America. That was before Adley Rutschman in 2022. So the question is, how has Rutschman performed as a rookie? Well, despite struggling initially, it didn't take long for him to show why he was a #1 overall prospect.
Drilled right field deep, Ward on the run, he will not get there. This game is alive. Rutschman into second base. It is 4-3. Into left field, Marsh will not get there. A bottom of the ninth stunner.
When Rutschman was called up, MLB writer Jonathan Mayo wrote an article on what to expect from the #1 prospect, and he jokingly wrote, "The anticipation and excitement in Orioles land is palpable. Let the posters be hung, the jerseys sold, the ad campaign started. Heck, might as well print up postseason tickets now, right?" Since Rutschman's call-up on May 21st, the Orioles have one of the best records in the American League. I'm not saying Rutschman is the sole reason for the Orioles' unlikely success, but he's certainly a key reason. Since his debut, Rutschman has been far and away the best player on the Orioles. Even if you include the month of games Rutschman missed, no one is topping what he has contributed to this team statistically. But it's not just the fact he's clearly the Orioles' best player, it's the fact he's performing this well as a rookie. Looking at all rookie seasons since 2000, Rutschman is currently hovering in the top 30 in both B-WAR and F-WAR. However, given the fact he has a few weeks worth of games left to play, it's not impossible to see him in the top 15 on either list. Even if he doesn't get in the top 15, he still ranks first in B-WAR for a rookie catcher since 2000, and he'll likely surpass Wilson Ramos and Buster Posey on the F-WAR leaderboard. As for where he currently ranks among his catching peers, Rutschman has been one of the best in numerous offensive categories since his debut. So what makes Rutschman so unique compared to other catchers? His plate discipline. He currently ranks top 15 in walk rate to go along with an above average strikeout rate. Judging from some of his swing and contact percentages and comparing them to league averages, it's clear that he doesn't swing very often, but when he does, he tends to make contact, which is why he doesn't strike out very much and often finds himself getting on base. The fact he's adapted so quickly to MLB pitching just shows how unique of a player he is, especially among his catching peers. Not only could Rutschman finish the season top 5 in F-WAR and B-WAR among all-time rookie catchers, he currently ranks in the top 10 in walk rate. Also, looking at every rookie catcher to have a walk rate of at least 10%, the only players with a comparable WRC plus are Darrell Porter, Thurman Munson, and Carlton Fisk. So, going by this list alone, Rutschman's potential is somewhere between a multi-time All-Star and a Hall of Famer. Obviously. But at the same time, it's more than just getting on base. He gets plenty of extra base hits, and while his exit velocity and hard hit percentage isn't the best, the fact he sees the ball so well gives him a notable advantage. If I have to note one crucial flaw in his offensive game, it's his righty-lefty splits. At the moment, he's not seeing left-handed pitching very well at all, which is interesting considering he crushed left-handed pitching in 2021. However, given how well he's begun his big league career, I have no doubt he's going to figure it out. But that's enough talk about his offense. To be a truly elite catcher, you have to produce in the batter's box and behind the plate. So far, all the signs point in Rutschman's favor. He ranks among the best in defensive runs saved, second base pop time, arm strength, and pitch framing, which has led to a great strike rate on borderline pitches, particularly in Baseball Savant attack zones 11, 14, and 17. In our point of view, this is the right side of home plate, and because the strike zone ends in the middle of these so-called shadow zones according to Baseball Savant, these are the gray area calls that umpires miss and catchers can exploit by framing. In regards to Rutschman, even with less than 100 big league games played, he's proven to be one of the league's best pitch framers. Overall, it's not too much of a surprise considering he's been labeled a Gold Glove caliber catcher for quite some time now. But when it comes to leading a pitching staff, it's more than just pitch framing, blocking bad pitches, or preventing base runners from stealing bases.
He struck him out! An unforgettable edition of Orioles magic!
Since he was a college prospect, anyone that had seen Rutschman play raved about his leadership qualities. How did he gain this reputation? Ultimately, it started with his love for catching. He said there are so many different aspects that go into it. I do like that cerebral part of the game. And also, you're doing something with someone else every pitch. You and the pitcher have a connection. You have things that you're trying to accomplish together, in a sense. I think that's a very unique thing. Rutschman exhibits these qualities in something that many fans likely don't even notice or even care about, to be honest. After every third out, Rutschman meets up with the pitcher on the way to the dugout, as opposed to what every other catcher does and walks straight to the dugout instead. It may not seem like much, but this little heat of the moment interaction does a lot for team chemistry and in-game morale. Rutschman says this is something he's always done, and if the pitcher is celebrating after a big moment, he wants to be there with him. Little things like this don't go unnoticed by veteran teammates, and it's why he's won over the clubhouse so quickly. When Orioles GM Mike Elias met with Rutschman a few months ahead of the draft, he saw a confident, energetic kid whose passion for catching was obvious. You have to apply so much of your time to other players, to the pitchers in particular, that you've got to be that type of teammate. To sacrifice so much of your time and attention and focus to a part of the game that's really about helping the team and helping other players on the team. It takes a leader. Rutschman has proven he can be that guy. I guess this is the final question. With Rutschman having one of the best rookie catching seasons ever, is he the AL Rookie of the Year? Well, probably not. Mainly because Julio Rodriguez is likely the better candidate. If Rutschman didn't get injured and he was given the starting job on opening day, like Rodriguez, the race would be much more contentious. However, given what happened in the 2010 NL Rookie of the Year race, who knows what happens? In this race, Braves outfielder Jason Hayward, who had played since opening day, was beaten out by midseason call-up Buster Posey in a very close race. Who knows, something like this could happen again, but honestly, I doubt it. And that's okay. A second place Rookie of the Year finish doesn't take away from the incredible success Rutschman has had this season. He's delivered on everything the scouts projected and then some. Given the trajectory he's on, there's a scenario where he ends the 2023 season as the league's best catcher. The Orioles may have a franchise cornerstone on their hands, and if everything goes right, his name will be synonymous with the Orioles and the city of Baltimore for many years to come. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching.